You buy a $40,000 Camry because you're scared of a $500 repair bill. That fear is costing you $1 million in retirement. I know how this sounds. You did the responsible thing. You avoided the sketchy used car that might leave you stranded. You bought something reliable, something safe, something that'll last. And now you're staring at a payment that never ends while your coworker drives a 10-year-old Accord with 200,000 miles and somehow has more money than you. Here's what nobody tells you. Reliability isn't the reason you bought that car. Fear is, and car companies know exactly how to sell fear. In about 60 seconds, you'll see the actual math behind why a $400 repair is cheaper than a $600 payment, and why that trade-off is quietly destroying your ability to retire early. The game is simple. Every dollar you send to a car payment is a dollar that can't compound for 30 years. A $600 monthly payment from age 35 to 65 isn't $7,000 a year. At 7% growth, it's $470,000 you'll never see. Buy 2 of those cars back to back over your career, you just erased $1 million from your retirement. That's the actual cost. Not the sticker price, not the interest, the opportunity cost of locking up money in something that loses value the second you drive it off the lot. If you want simple money math that turns panic into a plan, subscribe. I'm Mint. Now let's talk about what you're actually buying when you finance a new Toyota. You're not buying reliability, you're buying the feeling of reliability. And that feeling costs about $30,000 more than it should. Here's the lie. New cars are reliable, old cars break down. Here's the truth. A well-maintained 10-year-old Camry is almost as reliable as a new one, and when it does need work, you're paying cash for repairs instead of signing up for years of payments. A transmission rebuild sounds terrifying until you realize it's $3,000. That's 5 months of car payments. Which means if your paid-off car needs a major repair once a year, you're still ahead. But here's the part people miss. Most years, your car won't need a $3,000 repair. Most years, it'll need an oil change, brake pads, maybe a battery. You'll spend $800 and move on. Meanwhile, the person with the payment spent $7,000 that year and still doesn't own the car. Let me show you 2 people, both 35 years old. Both need a car. Person A buys a new $40,000 Camry, puts $5,000 down, finances $35,000 at 6% for 5 years. Monthly payment, $676. Over 5 years, they'll pay $45,500 total. At the end, they own a 5-year-old car worth maybe $22,000. They lost $20,000 to $3,000. Person B buys a 10-year-old Camry with 120,000 miles for $12,000 cash. Over the next 5 years, they spend $3,000 total on repairs, 2 timing belts, 1 set of struts, regular maintenance. At the end, they own a 15-year-old car worth maybe $5,000. They lost $10,000. Person A lost $23,000, person B lost $10,000. The difference is $13,000. But it's worse than that because person B wasn't making payments. They had an extra $60.76 every month to invest. Over 5 years at 7%, that's $48,000 in their brokerage account. So, person A has a car worth $22,000 and no savings. Person B has a car worth $5,000 and $48,000 in investments. Person B is $62,000 richer for driving something older. That's 1 car cycle. Now do that 3 more times between 35 and 65, and person B retires with an extra $250,000. And if they kept investing that $676 every month after the last car was paid off, they'd have over $700,000 more than person A. Same income, same life. One just refused to be afraid of repair bills. Now here's the trap people fall into. They buy the new car, and for 2 years, it feels amazing. No repairs, no stress, just payments. Then year 3 hits. The warranty expires, a sensor goes out. $400. And they think, see? This is why I bought new. Imagine if I had the old car, but they're not doing the math. They just paid $7,000 in payments that year, plus $400 in repairs. That's $7,400 total. Person B with the old car paid $1,200 in repairs and 0 in payments. Person A spent 6 times more and convinced themselves they saved money. This is the psychology car companies exploit. They make you feel smart for avoiding risk, while the real risk is the payment itself. So what actually changes the outcome here? 3 levers. Lever 1, how much you spend up front. If you're buying used, a $12,000 car and a $20,000 car will both get you to work. The cheaper one leaves $8,000 in your pocket. That's a year of Roth IRA contributions. Don't overspend just because you can afford it. Dairy salty sev and $50,000 at the time of 10%. Lever 2, how long you keep it. The biggest loss on any car is the first 3 years. Depreciation is brutal. If you're buying new, you need to drive it for 10 plus years to justify the cost. If you're buying used, buy something that's already eaten that depreciation and run it until the wheels fall off. A 15-year-old Camry with 200,000 miles still has 50,000 miles left if you maintain it. Lever 3, whether you finance or pay cash. Financing adds interest, but worse, it adds the psychological trap of, I can afford the payment. You can't afford the payment. You can afford the total cost. If you're financing, you're losing twice. Once to interest, once to opportunity cost. Save up, buy used, pay cash. If you can't do that yet, buy the cheapest reliable car you can and get out of debt fast. Here's the move. Right now, if you have a car payment, calculate what you'll pay over the life of the loan. Add up every payment, then multiply by 1.5 to estimate what that money would grow to if you invested it instead. That's your real cost. If that number makes you sick, good. You just found your biggest money leak. Next, if you're about to buy a car, do this. Find the newest car you think you need. Now find the same model that's 7 years older. Check insurance, reliability ratings, and average repair costs. Run the math, purchase price plus 5 years of expected repairs versus payments plus opportunity cost. You'll see the gap. Then buy the older one, set up an auto transfer for what the payment would have been, and invest it. In 5 years, check your account. You'll never finance a car again. Reliable cars don't keep you poor. The fear of unreliable cars keeps you poor. And the difference between those two things is about $500,000 over your working life. You can drive a 20-year-old Corolla and retire at 55, or you can drive a brand new 4Runner and work until you're 70. Both are reliable. Only one sets you free. Next, watch the one about why your house isn't an investment. Same trap, bigger numbers.